Hi, cats. I wanted to chime in on this whole rewired soul gate. Call it soul gate. How do you rewire a soul? Well, everyone loves a good metaphor, but of course we believe in neuroplasticity. Of course we believe, on some level, everybody believes that spirituality, whether there's a God or not, is integral to holistic good health. But Chris Boutté wrote a book called Rewire Your Anger, and he also wrote a book called Rewire, I believe, Your Anxiety. And he's been displaying a fair amount of passive aggressive or just outright aggressive anger these days in his social media. And I can understand when somebody feels under attack that they are going to lash out. I mean, there aren't that many saints anymore these days, right? But like everybody else, I'm just wondering how he's part of a community that he's not part of. So he goes and messages prominent figures in the drama community to brag about getting a reaction out of Trisha Paytas. And they put on display the fact that he's done this, and so he's now leaving the toxic ass drama community that he was never part of because he doesn't like drama channels. He doesn't identify as a drama channel. He's not a drama channel. He's a mental health channel using the drama community as examples of like what not to do in a relationship, or, you know, what not to do with one's sobriety. While admitting that the reason he continued with this style of video is because he realized that when he would drop names and in the subject line of his videos, that he would get a lot more hits. And so he sort of went with that formula. 7 or 8 months ago, he was doing a lot of videos on mindfulness and personal experience that actually were really interesting. I didn't know what was up with his voice. It kind of sounded like he was uncomfortable when he spoke. Like maybe there was something wrong with his throat, or I don't know. Do you guys know what I'm talking about though? But yeah, so that aside, the content of what he had to say I thought really was interesting because you could hear that he was passionate about the subject matter. But then as the months went by and as the subject matter grew more and more drama-ish, his whole kind of aura changed, or, you know, he rewired his soul in a sense, that it just came across kind of narcissistic. And I don't mean that like NPD or whatever, but just sort of generally narcissistic. And we all have narcissism, healthy and unhealthy. Well, everyone has healthy narcissism. Some people have pathological narcissism. And of course, I'm not saying he has pathological narcissism because I can't diagnose, and neither can he, regardless of what has come across and in the way he has spoken about people. Now, on the subject of Trisha Paytas and him supposedly diagnosing her with BPD, that I don't agree with, because she was the one who had initially said that she herself had been diagnosed with BPD, and he just kind of took that subject and ran with it. So, while I don't believe he diagnosed her, which nobody can do without credentials and at a distance, even with credentials, I do believe that he was using her admission of having this disorder to his own advantage and playing off of that, and then also using that sort of as a weapon against Leafy Greens, who is another YouTuber, smaller YouTuber. She's really interesting. Seems like we have a lot in common as far as our mental health journeys. But anyway, that aside, it's like I don't know. All his numbers are going down. People are unsubscribing from him, and it looks like something's got to give. So he did announce fairly recently that he was going to start changing the content, changing what kind of videos he puts up. So we'll see what happens with that. All right, I probably will make another video or two on the subject, but I have to collect my thoughts. And here's Selket. She's sleeping though. I don't want to interrupt her, but yeah, she's sleeping. Okay. Yes! Your adoring audience. Your adoring audience. You want to say meow? Huh? Oh, she's purring. She's like, why do you wake me up?